Bike Boulevard is a high-priority bicycle street.
It's low traffic, slow traffic, and it's a direct route for bikes.
There's so little knowledge out there about how to design bike boulevards, how to plan them, how to select the right route. It's a relatively new concept in terms of American cycling cities. It is a very common concept in European cities, lots of different names. In the Dutch call it the Wooner for living street. In Germany you have a Fahrradstraße, that is a bicycle street. But in the U.S., in our design guides that we have at the national level and at the state levels, very few of them say anything about bicycle boulevards. So we felt that given the knowledge that we had gained in Portland as well as in other cities that have tried bike boulevards, that we had something really important to share that we needed to pull together and get out there.
One of the lessons that we really learned from bicycle boulevards is to look not only at the sort of operational and engineering characteristics of a road, but to look at the experience of the road. One of the critical things about a bike boulevard is that it's pleasant to ride on. And I think a city that's looking to lay out some bike boulevards, starting with an easy success, picking the low-hanging fruit, that'll set the groundwork for moving on to more challenging projects.
This is Dean Street. They have a bike lane. They have a lot of bike traffic. Dean and Bergen, they go all the way from near the Brooklyn Bridge all the way out to East New York. And that's kind of the highway of Brooklyn for bikes. The problem is they're full of cars. They're full of double-parked cars. They're full of truck deliveries. And the root of this problem is that there's nothing diverting cars along the way. So cars can drive 5-10 miles along this route and never have to turn. And they use it because it's 2 or 3 blocks away from Atlantic Avenue. And Atlantic Avenue gets backed up and they come and divert here through this street.
So some of the key features of the bicycle boulevard are devices that move traffic off the bike boulevard and onto other streets, devices that slow motor vehicle traffic, markings and signage to make the bike boulevard really visible, and intersection treatment so that cyclists can safely cross major streets. We slow traffic on the street with speed bumps and mini traffic circles and chicanes and other devices that lower the speed of traffic so that bicyclists and motorists can safely share the road at a very low speed. Less than 25 miles an hour is ideal, and less than 15 miles an hour is really the optimal. If the bike boulevard has created a very circuitous and illogical route for cyclists, then you have not made a good choice in your bike boulevard routing.
This diverter and a lot of the ones like this have been in place for a long time. The bicycle boulevard network in its formal nature is a little bit newer. When I was growing up on this street, this was here, and so the basic groundwork was laid, and then later on they started putting in large paintings on the street of a bicyclist with the boulevard sign. They put in the really nice purple signs.
The bike boulevard signs that we've got in Portland show a number of destinations, and then they also show the mileage, and probably the most critical thing they show is the amount of time. So it's like a little mental trick. You're biking along and you see that it says Hollywood 13 minutes, and in fact, because it's a slow cycling speed at 10 miles an hour, most people cycle a little faster than that. You arrive there in only 10 minutes. And it says to you, wow, cycling is a really fast and easy means of transportation.
There was a big study of this area about 5 years ago called the Downtown Brooklyn Traffic Calming Plan. This study proposed 3 levels of streets. One is called a travel street. This is a big, Atlantic Avenue, Flatbush Avenue, a big street, lots of cars. The second kind of street is called a community street. This is a street that's sort of like a commercial strip, like a Fulton Street. There's some cars, there's a lot of buses usually. And the idea is to get the buses through, allow some traffic on those streets, make it really nice for pedestrians. And the third type of street is called a living street. That's a residential street. That's like this street here, this street here. You don't want a lot of through traffic. It's a street that should serve the people who live on that street. But we're not there yet. We're not doing anything really to divert traffic from these streets. There's been a few things here and there where they extend corners, but we're not really doing anything to keep through traffic off of these streets.
From what I've seen of New York, I think there is definitely some potential for bicycle boulevards here. You definitely have some roadways that have those low speed, low traffic volume characteristics, especially some of the lovely tree-lined residential side streets. They definitely have that feel that we go for in a bicycle boulevard.
You could turn some of these streets into really quiet streets, and there are quiet streets in Brooklyn, but they tend to be ones that have sort of natural traffic calming, like a park, but the problem is they don't go long distances. So we need some sort of synthetic obstacles like that to make these streets that actually do go long distances and can be used by bikes to go long distances into real bike boulevards for New York.